Hey guys, so Storm. Hey guys, so Stormgate just launched, and there's like this really cool user interface design that I really wanted to talk about and to explain to you how it changes the game for players in general. So this is the user interface. Firstly, you can change the scaling of the user interface from 70% to 150%, I believe. So that's like something that, for balance purposes, a lot of RTS developers have limited how you can change the user interface. Because you get more screen real estate, that could kind of impact, the effectiveness. But I'm glad that the developers have changed that. So you could make the interface a lot smaller. Now, I have a large interface just so we could talk about it more easily. But for the most part, you could customize it to how you like. So behind me is the mini-map. The mini-map is pretty standard fare. One of the nice things about it is you could switch it from one side to the other, so you could swap it with the command grid on the right. In the center, you have your unit selection and data on your units. It shows what buffs they may have, and it shows unit types and, all the extra details you come to expect. On the right side, you could see that is the command grid. There is a match timer, so this match has been running for 25 minutes. There are resources, Luminite and Therium, and we have supply here. So all of this data is now accessible in one location of the screen. It is nice because in other RTS games, you have to look all around the screen to find your data. And it's fine, but building it into the command panel makes a lot of sense. What is a little confusing about the grid panel is that there are these categories, right? So here you could build structures. This is train units advanced, upgrades, and more upgrades. So these categories is how it innovates on the macro aspect of the game, right? So for example, if you want to build a building, well, let's go over here, right? And normally what we do is grab this guy, and then we go to our build button. So build structure, Z. And I want to build a habitat, which is supply depot. Come on, it's a supply depot, guys. So he's going to start building it. But another way to do it, and this is where it gets pretty cool, is that you could use this category, select that any time, right? So I have my workers selected right now. I could press Q. It automatically goes to the category, the build category. I could press S, and I could make it build. So that's like a really cool feature. So it also works for unit macro. Let's say let's change the rally point here, right? Let's say I want to build some scouts. All right, we're going to start building a scout. I just switch to the W category and I press D and I get the scout. Or if I want to queue up another unit, I could do that as well. So the queuing system works as expected, just like in StarCraft, especially if you're familiar with that. So here we have the unit, right? So that's pretty nice. What this does is it saves the player from assigning hotkeys to structures, which is a big thing because I have small hands. I have long fingers, but I have small hands. when you ask me as a player to reach for the 6 key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's a little tougher. And then when I have other buildings, 7, 8, 9, I'm actually moving my hand far into the middle of the keyboard. So these are like small things that makes it very easy to manage. In addition to that, we have advanced units. For example, like this is our mechanical structure, mechanical units, right? And then this is the air units. So you got W for like infantry, right? And this includes all the tiers of the infantry because I've unlocked those. But for here, this category, I did not unlock the air units, and that's why they're grayed out. But you do have access to building all this stuff from like a neat little grid category thing. On top of that, it also includes upgrades. So you could get your basic upgrades and you could get your advanced upgrades, as long as you build the structure to support it. So that's the innovation. So I could go from building some of these Lancers, and then I could let's build another barracks because it takes some time to build Lancers, right? And then when we have, now, like, there are some things that are not automated, which is, like, if you want to use many units to build a structure, right? So here it is. The pathfinding is still pretty early. It's a little janky, but it's fine. So how does the unit queue system work when you have multiple barracks, right? So if you go to here, we select the W category for a unit category. When we're here, we can right-click. That changes every single unit, military unit, rally point to this location. No longer do we have to select individual buildings. However, that does not affect our workers. The workers have this gold rally point that is pre-assigned. So if you want to change the worker rally point, then I could click on that. Now only workers will be assigned to rally here. So that's like a really neat function too. Right, so we have some Lancers. So when it comes to like building with multiple barracks and stuff, it will queue up accordingly, right? So now you could see 2 are actually building because we have 2 barracks. So all in all, this system is really nice. However, it does take a little getting used to. It does save you hotkeys, but I feel once you master it, the functionality is the same with a few less key presses. Now you might be wondering, why are some of my unit hotkeys messed up, right? Because this is a grid layout. It's supposed to be QWERT, ASDFG, right? But my hotkey is on F. That is because, unlike most people, I don't A move, I F move. I've changed my attack hotkey to F because it's more ergonomic, right? It's just a personal preference. But there is a little problem when it comes to this game. Because unlike Age of Empires 2, I cannot bind attack specifically. When you bind things in this game, you bind by location on the grid. See, so this is the command card, right? And it says command row 2, column 1. So there's no function to select to make it only apply to attack. It only applies to a specific location on your grid. All right, and that's fair. It's something I'll get used to over time. But for when it comes to my gameplay, whenever I want to train an EXO, I have to press A instead of F. And that's it. That's the whole user interface in a nutshell. I hope that explains everything. Yeah, if you think this is like a really nice way to advance the RTS genre, then let me know. I could see some people arguing against this and making it, they feel it might be more confusing. But at the end of the day, if you count the number of clicks it requires, it does save you a little more time. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys. Bye.